All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is Thursday, January 28th. It is 8:01 a.m. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, y'all. Yesterday was a phenomenal day on the market. We'll go over some of the stuff that we talked about yesterday, and again, we want to do more with less, right? More with less. Okay. So right now I'm actually going to kick this off with I know many of you are doing the AUD CAD, AUD JPY. So let's go ahead and start there. Let's go to the daily, start with the daily. We see that we have a lot of bearish momentum. We actually have a bearish cross here on the stochastic. All right. We also see that we are getting rejection again from this level that we marked off, this 0.98259 level, major rejection. Okay, we're getting from that level. We also see that this could be a double top. This could be a head and shoulders pattern, however you want to read it. All right, it is a bearish pattern. All right. So with that being said, again, we do the same thing that we always do. We're going to measure it from basically the head to the base. So that's going to give us 205. So we're going to go down to 400. All right. And that'll put us around this area of consolidation. All right. If that's what this really is. All right. Now, again, we're talking about 400 pips, right? So we're not about to get 400 pips today. But let's just continue to dive down. All right. We see that we are at this level, our horizontal level of support, that outer level of support that we was talking about, that price is probably going to come down to. All right. And also, as you can see, that we had an idea for when price actually breaks this 0.97627 mark, all right, and we can enter into a sale to our horizontal level of support that we mapped off, all right, highlighted it in green and everything. So it appears that that setup is in motion. Notice that again we have our entry, all right, below this level at 0.97566. All right, because price could break down. We see we have another level of support where price took off here on December the 29th. All right, and it pushed all the way up to this 0.98970 mark. Okay, so again, we want to make sure that price breaks below this level, really holds resistance, right? Maybe a break and a retest before this idea really is valid. Okay, and then after that, we were saying that when price actually reaches this level, we still probably want to remain bullish. All right, after we just mapped that off, where price could go to. Yeah, price could indeed try to bounce back up again, but after looking at what we looked at on the daily chart, we could be getting a reversal. All right, so let's just stay tuned for that. So our risk to reward ratio on this one was a 1.9 to 1 risk to reward. And as you go into profit, y'all, make sure that you adjust your stop loss. Make sure that you get that free trade, eliminate any losses. Remember, it's all about defense. All about defense. All right. So what time is it right now? It's 8:05. All right. So price could. We do see that we are indeed on our money line, and we are a little ways away, extended, okay, from both the moving averages. We're starting to get that cross that we want. All right, we're starting to get that cross that we want yet again. We see that we got the cross the first time. It's not quite crossed. All right. So again, when we have that cross, yes, that means bearish, but a lot of times what happens is just like here in the cross, what happens is price. Remember, these moving averages is a reaction to price, right? So it reacts to what price is actually doing. It's not telling you what price is about to do. You know, you can look at the past data and determine that, right? But again, in this case, price may push back up to the averages and then proceed to move down. So again, make sure that you're using proper entries. All right, you don't need to enter here. You know, you could wait for price to come back up to the 0.98299. If it does do that, you know, then you can actually increase your risk to reward ratio on this. All right, which it actually give you a 5.6 to let me see if we want to go out just a little bit. All right, probably something like that. So that'll still give us a 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio, and that is indeed what we are looking for. All right. Uh, so if price doesn't hold or break at this level and push back up, then again we're still talking about the same trade idea that we already had, looking to take the sell from underneath the 0.976 40 level. All right. The best position was this position, you know, taking the sell when it was up here. So right now we're looking at overall bearish for AUD CAD. Again, there could be some bullish activity, but when I'm talking about my ideas, I'm more talking about an intraday trading strategy, which is basically an 8-hour plus strategy. All right, always keep that in mind. So let's go to AUDJPY. I think this was an idea from earlier in the week because I don't think we talked about AUDJPY yesterday. Um, so let's go ahead and delete this idea. All right. We were saying that it could still be bullish, which we've seen that we were wrong. And let me see if I can go back to where this was. There we go. We had already mapped off these areas in green, right? So being as though if I really put my entry below that line, that was silly, y'all. Y'all should have told me something about that. So let's just go ahead and X that out. Again, we're talking about orders. Yesterday I got caught up in a bad entry on the order, and I'll talk about that in a second. I would have had almost a perfect day if it wasn't for that bad order entry. And this kind of explains it a little bit. Well, when we have an order and we know where our support and resistance areas are, we don't want to enter ever really a buy at a top of a trend, right? So if you're thinking that there's going to be a trend continuation and you're thinking that this level is going to hold that support, right? When indeed it's been holding as resistance, you know, or vice versa, that you're thinking that price is going to come down to this level and hold as resistance, right? But it doesn't. It just, well, let's just say hold as support. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry. You're thinking that this level is going to hold as resistance, which it did in this case, right? But it could hold as support. So what I would recommend is those orders, just put an alert, right, for when price actually reaches that level, right? When you're thinking that price is going to continue to push down, just click the line, add an alert to it, and then you're going to get notified when price hits that line, and then use your actual judgment to see if that line is acting as support or resistance, right? Because if it's acting as support, then that's a great entry going headed up because we know that we were in an overall bullish trend and we never want to sell at the bottom or buy at the top, right? But if On the flip side, price was pushing down, and you say, you know what? I think, like for an example, we think price is going to push up at this 78,922. Now with that, all right, saying that, hey, I'm thinking that this area is going to act as support. We're going to get a retracement here. Yes, that one I feel a lot more comfortable with the order. All right. Or if you're saying, hey, price is going to push back up to this 79,694 and then reject and push down, I want to enter in for a sale, then that I will feel comfortable with putting in an order, right? But if you're saying that you want to buy at this level, right, I don't really feel comfortable with that order being as though the momentum is really pushing against you. All right. So hopefully I clarified that a little bit. We are starting to get a little cross here on the intraday. All right. We did map off a little minor area of support and resistance here in this area. Let's just go back. Again, we see this head and shoulders pattern. So we got to measure from head to base. We get 81. All right. And we're going to take that down to 162. All right. So that's just at our line here. Okay. So now that the head and shoulders pattern is formed, we see that price is indeed headed down to 79 or 78,936. All right, but right now we are in the midpoint, so we can kind of treat this like a no trade zone. All right, we do not want to take a trade in the middle of these 2 points. It is just a horrible position. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to wait. All right, just like here on this side, remember we're always reading left and then we're predicting right. So we see that when price was pushing up, it came back up to this level. It made that little bump. Let's just call it that, right? And then it pushed back up. So price could do the same thing on this side. It could come down to this midpoint. It could push back up, make that little hump, but a bearish one, and then it could continue to push down. So basically what I'm saying is that, again, we want to maximize our risk to reward. And entering in this right now, while it's in the middle, is not going to give us it's going to give us a 1-to-1 risk to reward, but wouldn't a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1 be a lot better? Absolutely, right? So let's just wait for, again, price to either reach this bump back up to this 79,693, all right, or continue to push down to this 79,9 or 78, 942, and then we'll just buy from there. All right, we'll just buy from there. So just looking at this, we have a bunch of red candles and a bunch of bearish candles. So it's not going to be. We don't really want to look at it as a possible true trend change until we see that first engulfing candlestick. Like here, we had this small candle, and then this one engulfed that one, giving us a signal. All right, to the uptrend. All right, this one opened above our area of let's just say support or resistance. All right, so acted as support, and it continued to push up until we got this next engulfing red candle here. All right, and then price pushed down, and then we got this next engulfing bullish green candle. And then price continued to push up, right? Until we got what? Another bearish candle. So you definitely want to follow trends from whatever chart that you're trading off of. The 5-minute, if you took your idea of the 5-minute chart, you want to go from engulfing to engulfing, right? If you're doing a 15-minute, engulfing to engulfing on the 15. If you're doing a 2-hour chart, in this case, you want to look at the engulfing. Could you use the smaller time frames? Yes, but you could be doing entering and exiting a lot more. If that's what you want to do as far as scalping, sure, right? So, but again, let's just wait for price. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set an alert my damn self. Okay. Oops. Maybe I don't know what I just did. Want to set an alert though. It's not letting me set an alert. I don't know what's up with that. Yeah, that's an alert to horizontal line. Nah, still not working. Let me try to refresh it. What? 6 more months, get 6 more months free. What's better than Ang? I don't know what you're talking about, brother. Yes, those are my alerts, but I want to make a new alert. There we go. All right, so I'm going to create an alert when price hits that level. All right, and I may actually create, well, what I'll do is, in this case, I definitely want to put an alert. I mean, I'm, again, comfortable with putting an order in at this level, 78,944. All right, 78. Oh, sorry, 78,926. So it looks something like that. Again, on the 2 hour, all right, we're gonna go from engulfing to engulfing. So if we're reaching this point, you could take your profit or you could slide your stop loss, lock in profits, and then move out, bump up and take profit. Because again, uh, remember, we're looking at this as an overall bullish trend. So this could very possibly continue to push forward. All right, although we did say on the daily, all right, that we were getting this. Actually, that was the last one. Let's go back out to the everything is theirs. Yeah. So we got the engulfing pattern here on the weekly. All right. So this definitely the weekly trend is for sure in motion until we get an engulfing pattern on the weekly. All right. Uh, Same thing on the daily. We got engulfing. All right. Continuation. So but again, we know we're going to get some rejection from this level. So we're not saying that price is going to all push back up, which ultimately I do think is going to, right? Either when it hits this moving average or price could push all the way back to this moving average, all right? and basically that's our outer trend line. So let's actually let's mark this up. Sorry. Yep. So price could indeed be coming down to our 100 period moving average, which is in this case an outer level of support. All right, that's our widest level of support. That does make sense. Uh, so again, we look like we probably gonna get some rejection from this area. Right, price could push down and come back up, hold, and then continue to push down. All right. So again, I feel comfortable with that trade setup, but when price comes back up to this level, all right, or push down and comes back up to this level, wherever the break in the retest really happens, right? The retest. Um, yes, we're looking forward to continue to push down. All right, so this could be again just setting lower highs right here. I don't necessarily see a pattern. Um, in there. I do see this could be like a double top. That's a double top, right? But overall, what I do see is these engulfing uh, candles on the daily chart. Okay, uh, so right, so this setup I'm cool with. Let's go with all right. So we'll go. We did the same thing. We did like an either or. All right. Price pushed up off of our area of support like we thought. Came up, bounced off, rejected. Let me see. Same thing with this one. We have bearish engulfing candles. So just pay attention to that. Price could come back up to this 1850 and continue to push down, or it could come up to either one of these areas. We got so many areas of resistance. It looks like to continue to push this down, right? So just be careful with that. But then again, at the same time, we're still in this wedge pattern, right? We're in this wedge pattern. And if we do break, like we said, if we end up in this 1877 level, okay, then we know that we're going to continue bullish because it is still following our money line at the same time of being squeezed within this wedge pattern. All right, so be very, very careful to see which way price is going to choose to go to. All right, you don't know. So we still at a period where we should really wait. Again, we don't want to put the order in right there because if we do put that order in, price could just reject down, right? And that's what we don't want. So we want to make sure that we put an alert on this one, okay? Put an alert to alert us. Sorry, y'all. Put an alert to alert us so that we know based on we can use our own judgment as far as entry because we don't want price to just turn around against us real quick, right? So we starting to get squeezed. We starting to get squeezed, but we need to be looking for a breakout. All right. So it's following both right now. All right. So we just need to be a little bit more patient on gold and wait for it to really give us a decisive move by either breaking underneath the money line and continue to push forward or breaking above and continue to go out. But right now we're definitely like no trade situation in gold. All right. And then we'll do two more. which is going to be near 30. Okay. You see the idea that we came up with yesterday almost hit for take profit. All right. But again, yes, it did continue to push down, but trust me, it whipped up first, right? And did all of that, right? And I had to take an unnecessary loss, and just the slightest move in this one causes the craziest movement, right? So that's why I'm telling you that you want to make sure that you follow these rules that I'm telling you, especially when it comes to putting those orders in. All right. We still have this area, which was like a monthly area of support or resistance that we've seen. All right. Price broke down, it came up, it held as resistance. All right. And right now, it looks like it's continuing to push down. Price could push up, it could retest it again. All right. So we're looking for any bullish, any engulfing candles, and right now, only engulfing that I really see is bearish engulfing candles, right? Telling us that price is going to continue to push down. All right. Let's go to the 2 hour. All right. The 2 hour we see is almost in that over. It's almost in that over bought territory. All right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out a little trend line. I see kind of what it's doing here. All right. Kind of mark it like that. If price breaks this, we know that it's probably going to come up to test that area of support again, right? Or price it still hasn't came back up to retest this 2 hour level of let me see if it tested the hour. And it still hasn't really tested the hourly level. I'm sorry, moving average, right? But we do see that there looks like a new trend line is in effect. All right. So if we end up with another engulfing pattern, candlestick along this uh, chart, then we know soon as we see that engulfing, all right, we know that we need to rock and roll on this one. All right, it's either gonna come from this area, which is probably gonna come from that area, I think, right? Because it hasn't touched the 100 period moving average really in a while, right? Waiting for it to touch maybe on the 2 hour or so, the hour, and then still continuing this downward trend, right, to push down. So we just gotta continue to see. Again, we're in like a no trade kind of situation with it at the moment. Okay. When we look at it on the 30 minute, we see that we did get some rejection off of the 50 on the 30 minute. All right. And we did get that engulfing red candle on the 30 minute. So uh you could use that as entry, right? If you want to. All right. We'll go down to 15 minutes. All right. We see 15 minute looks even better. Okay, with as far as our movement averages and our basically it's kind of like in this diagonal level of resistance. All right, it's all forming at that level. Okay, we do want to be careful that an inverse head and shoulders pattern could be developing. Right, you can see that this could be a left shoulder, it could be a right shoulder. Price could push down, it could hold up again at this level, and it could continue to push higher. All right. But overall, I think we were looking for this to come down to our daily, right, 100 period moving average, all right, or even as low as our yellow line, all right. So we do see that this is a very, very pivotal point with on the daily, this head and shoulders pattern um, being valid, right? So definitely still a downtrend, no doubt about it, no doubt about it. All right, until we get the engulfing pattern on the daily, we're going down. All right, we're going down. 4 hour. You see even here on the stochastic, we're running up on some resistance. Okay, the time is 8:31. Okay, so uh, again, price already kind of broke and retested this level. So could it just continue to push down? Yeah, it definitely could. It definitely could. Uh, Again, on a 30-minute, we did get that engulfing candle pushing away from this area. All right, so that could be the signal, right, that this is going to indeed just continue to push down. All right, I do want to see it on the hourly though. Okay, I do want to see it on the hourly because basically kind of got like a doji, right, which is cool. That's like a momentum stopper. All right, and then with this one, we want to see some type of engulfing candlestick form. All right, although to me, this probably is good enough, but it may not be the best, right? So let's just continue to see if it does break this level that we had, this 13,484, then yeah, it's game time on that one to continue down to push to what we said on the daily chart. Okay, on the daily chart. So just one more reminder, y'all, just be careful when you're talking about a trend continuation and putting in an order because that level may not hold, all right, as resistance as fast as you think. It could actually do the opposite or the support, all right? And then for the show, all right, Amazon. I can't believe I'm stuck on Amazon, right? But I am. I ain't gonna lie. So let's look at the daily, okay? On the daily, we see that again, we were in this wedge pattern, all right? And price came up, it retested on top of our wedge, and then formed a head and shoulders pattern, sending price all the way back down. And now it appears that price is actually stuck. Not stuck, I shouldn't say stuck, but it's for sure back within our trend. All right, now we don't want to lose note of there is a bullish cross, but the stochastic also is pointed down. There's so much bearish momentum here. All right, and um, I guess we could say, let's measure it. All right, depending on where we really want to say our neckline is, to be honest with you, right? Which gives us E111. So we're gonna go down to 222, which again, y'all, right here at our level of support. Right? It's crazy how all these, when you do the math, and it all just add up. Like that's crazy how it does that. Okay. So we want to see same thing. We have a break, but we don't have a retest. All right. Let's go down to 2 hours. All right, where it looks like we were in the process of having maybe a retest, all right, and a continuation of a downtrend. Just like how we were saying on Jerk 30, where we think that things are kind of going down and hit the 100 period moving average on the daily, well, we're basically kind of saying the same thing. Right, on my other chart, on my MT4, uh, basically this is it's a little bit lower than this, right? But that's a good level, right? It all makes sense, right? Just at the body of this left candle here, all right? Could it break it and hit that line? Based on our math, it probably is. But guess what? What we're gonna do when it hit that line? We're gonna buy. We're gonna buy again, all right? Because, well, we're really gonna take a look. To be honest with you, we're gonna take a look because this could go either way, honestly. Like, is this an inverse head and shoulders? Is this like a triple bottom, right? It is setting these periods of higher highs, right? Is that a double bottom? Like, I'm seeing all sorts of signals, right? Since that double bottom has been setting for sure higher highs, right? So it does make sense for it to really only come down to maybe this level, the 100 period moving average, right? And then we'll still wait for that break in that retest. But as far as today is concerned, it looks like, let's just continue to dive down a little bit more. We got the 4 hour in there, the 2 hour. We are retesting on the 2 hour. On the 15. That's the other cool part about trading the stock. Like, you could form your analysis while the market is closed. Like, it's not even open right now. So it's froze. It's not like trying to trick me out, you know. And then it only has pretty much 8 hours to do what it's going to do. All right. So instead of it trying to trick me, I feel like it's just doing what it's doing, and it's up to me to figure it out. All right. So on this one, on the 15 minute, it looks like we have a big head and shoulder pattern as well, right? Which that makes sense. We've seen that from the higher time frames, followed by a double top, right? So let's try to see if this level holds in resistance. We are getting that cross. Price could push all the way back up too. All right. Our 50 period moving average or our 100 period moving average. All right, on the 5 minute, it already tested the five the 5 minute 50 period moving average. All right, so it may want to test that 100 period moving average. Let's see if it can test the 15. All right, it did the 15. Let's see if it did the 30. All right. It did the 30 on the 100. Okay, so yeah, price could just hold at this level and continue to push down. All right, on the hourly. Okay, we see that we have the 100 period average, moving average underneath us, holding that support still. So we want to see how this goes. So again, we want to let price bump up. It's probably going to shoot up. No telling where price is going to actually open. Right, could gap. The gap up here, and we know we probably just want to take a sell, right? Just like how we did yesterday. Price came up, gap. I sold from the beginning of the day. As soon as the period opened, it just went down the whole entire day. Came, sold, bought some here, and sold again. It was like so simple, all right? So with this one, we still looking for our pattern to be filled, all right? So we want to see if they give us a better price before we just jump in. So we will wait it out, see if we get a little bullish activity. All right, this chart tends to mimic what the indices do, being as though it's one of the top 500 companies in the world, right? So if we see, let's just say the US 30, let's just take a look at that. Oh, I deleted it off my chart, but I'll put it back up. Actually, the JER 30 kind of follows it too. Okay, so let's just say US 30 for the index. I gotta hurry up and do this real quick. All right. Okay. US 30. All right, there we go. So we see here this could be a double bottom, right? But overall price pushed up. All right, it's pushing up. All right, and then we're waiting for it to hit one of these moving averages, and then a continuation. And we also see that we got that head and shoulder pattern here, right? So again, we can kind of look at how prices moving on the indices and kind of determine, since Amazon is one of those companies that's in that, what it may do. It may mimic this. So with that being said, y'all, I got to jump off. I appreciate y'all for jumping on this morning. I'll try to post my ideas. I did a horrible job of that this week. But I see y'all starting to jump on in the morning, which I really want, because I don't want it to be about what my idea is, but the basis behind it, okay? So I appreciate y'all for jumping on. This will be recorded either way. Let's catch some tips. Let's have a great day. Have a good one.